We've all seen the flames, the charred walls, the yellow tape. But what really happens after a fire, and how do investigators determine whether it was an accident or arson? Our I-Team's Valerie Bell was given rare access to an ATF training where prosecutors watched two rooms set on fire, one with an accelerant, one without. Here's what stood out.
Flames crawl up the walls, smoke rolls across the ceiling, and within minutes, everything changes. Inside this burn building, prosecutors stand just feet away from a live fire demonstration. One room is set with a delay device, no accelerants. The other, fueled with ignitable liquid. The end result, appearing to be nearly identical devastation.
Fire investigations are very complex, they're very detailed, and fire and arson is very hard to solve because fire destroys.
Rick Hankins is a senior special agent and certified fire investigator with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, better known as ATF. He now manages the agency's Certified Fire Investigator program. This training isn't just for investigators, it's for the prosecutors who will eventually stand in court and explain what happened.
These are very complex cases, as you know, we learning the techniques that they use as far as a scientific method that's taken from the very beginning, as well creates a very succinct roadmap that we're able to follow when investigating these types of crimes.
In the room without accelerant, the fire still reaches flashover. That moment when nearly everything combusts at once. In the other room, a trail of ignitable liquid may have similar results, but leaves behind a different trail of evidence.
Not all intentionally set fires have to use accelerated or ignitable liquid. In fact, many of our intentionally set fires, the assailant, the arsonist, does not use ignitable liquid.
After the flames die, investigators don't just look at the damage, they look down.
What we're looking for as fire investigators when ignitable liquid is potentially used is irregular patterns on the floor. And based on those irregular patterns, we will collect evidence, we'll can it in a specific way and have it analyzed in our lab.
For Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Alabama, Benjamin Cowan, seeing that science unfold in real time matters.
So being familiar with the techniques that our law enforcement partner uses is fantastic, because you, as a lawyer, try to synthesize things for a jury and make things understandable. Being able to take from the science side of things what they are doing and understand it helps you to be able to communicate that better to juries, to judges, and in general as we kind of go through the case to understand it better and be better at effectively prosecuting these cases.
Because in court, every detail is challenged.
We prosecute everything with regard to violent crime, gun violence, all the way to white-collar crime, and everything in between. We have people that specialize in a number of different areas, and a couple different sections within our office that work hard together to try and accomplish the mission of the Department of Justice, which is to protect the public and to ensure that justice is served.
ATF studied 348 cases across 7 U.S. cities. The findings challenge common assumptions.
Financial benefit from an arson, that motive is actually pretty small.
Because arson isn't always about insurance money. In fact, that's a myth.
50% of all arsons are revenge motivated. 22% of all arsons are related to domestic violence. The second leading motive was vandalism. And the third leading motive was actually some form of mental illness or substance abuse.
Those numbers are striking, but when investigators arrive, they don't walk in with conclusions.
Just because ATF or a state fire marshal's office is on scene doesn't mean that, oh, they must think it's a set fire. A lot of times ATF will respond to fire scenes because the state and locals, and including us, we don't know yet.
That uncertainty is why every fire is treated as a potential crime scene.
We treat all fire scenes as though they might be an arson or a crime scene because we have to.
Hankins has worked major fires across the country, including a Maryland mansion fire that killed 6 people and was ultimately ruled accidental. He says that conclusion only came after painstaking work. And that's the point of this training, to show prosecutors what fire really does and what it leaves behind. ATF says whether a blaze starts with gasoline or something far less obvious, it's the evidence, not assumptions, that determines the case. At Redstone Arsenal, Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 I-Team.